right, I want to welcome everyone to the USA Powerlifting Summer Showdown roster reveal held this June 26th and 27th at the World Fitness Expo here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm David Bell, and with me today is...
I'm Josh Rohr, the meet director.
And we're hoping to get everybody excited here for the Summer Showdown. This is a first-time event here, and we of course know Josh is one of the best meet directors around. For any of you who partake in some of his meets. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and break into some of the events that we're going to have as far as full power. We've of course got a deadlift only and a bench only competition which will be held on Saturday. And we want to kind of give you a breakdown as to some of these great lifters you're going to see and some of the weight they'll be moving.
Alright, so that is a shot of the World Congress Center, which is where this event's going to be. We're going to have a lot of other events going on as part of that World Fitness Expo, so it's going to be a good experience for everybody. I believe admission is $25 a day, but that gets you access to all of the events throughout the weekend.
Right, I was found out earlier today that there'll be roughly around 10,000 to 15,000 people per day at the Expo, so there'll be plenty of people there and lots going on. And here's just a few of the things you'll get an opportunity to see. Of course, powerlifting, that's what we're here for. CrossFit, there'll be Zumba, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, arm wrestling. So really, if you're just a fitness connoisseur in general, it'll be a great place and a great expo to check out for the weekend.
How that's going to work is it's going to be broken down into basically 3 events. We're going to have full power, bench press, and deadlift. The full power is going to be on on Friday. I believe. So
That's for sure.
It'll be fun.
That's for sure. Alright.
Alright, we're going to start with our pro deadlift roster. I know this is what everybody's been wanting to hear. As the actual roster, we've kept it kind of secret because we've been inviting lifters over the past couple months. If you did not get an invite, don't be offended by that because we are still going to be trying to fill a few spots in the bench only and the deadlift only. A lot of people applied for the full power, but we are interested in bringing you in as a bench only or a deadlift only lifter if you're interested. So we'll start with the female raw division in the deadlift. A couple of lifters that are standing out to me that I think could be in the running for the win here. Amanda Pageant,
Right.
Up in North Carolina or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas.
Right.
You know, she's pulled 348, weighing 112. So if you're a Wilks person, that's a pretty high Wilks score. 2 other people that are going to stand out here, Shayna White and Rhonda Watts. Both of them compete in the 184 class, which is interesting, and they both pull about the same. Shayna's pulled 452, Rhonda's pulled 462.
Okay.
Now, I think they both have their eyes set on that 500 mark, and my prediction is if either one of them pulls 500, they walk away with the money. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that'll be something to see, and so that's one of the good matchup to watch for the weekend there. And I know Rhonda is pretty new on the scene, so
yeah, not a lot of people know who that is.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see her lifting with some of the top lifters in the country and seeing how she stacks up.
most definitely.
All right, so we move into the. Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead. I'm talking too much.
No, it's all right. We're moving into the male lightweight pro raw deadlift. We've got some big names in here as well. I know we've got Garrett Bailey and
Botsy Bailey and Keith McConey.
Right.
He is he's pulled 578 weighing 142, I believe, for an American record.
Okay.
And then you got Botsy Bailey, who's pulled 755 at 206. So you put those both numbers into the computer, and they are pretty interesting.
Right.
You know, it sounds like 755 is a lot more than 578. And it is, but when you look at the size of the two lifters, there's a big difference there. So that's where that Wilks formula comes in, and pound for pound, you know, we're looking to see who the best lifter is. So it'll be interesting.
Well, that's exactly it. Again, that's always that aspect of the meet where everybody wants to know who's strongest. And again, some new folks on the scene here. I know Camden Clayton. He's a fairly new lifter in the USAPL, at least as far as you know, his polls are concerned, and I know he's right around a 93 kilo lifter as well, and can pull in the sevens as well. So.
Right, and that's the thing. There's a lot of names on here that might not be household names yet.
Right.
Yet. I say that.
Well, that's what the Summer Showdown's all about.
Right. So we'll move into the heavyweight division here.
We're gonna try to get Garrett right here.
Oh, okay. I guess we got a lifter joining us here.
All right.
We got Botsy Bailey. Botsy, you there?
Come on, don't.
Technology.
Right. Well, just bear with us, folks.
We'll see if we can come back.
All right, we'll come back to him
Yeah.
if we can. Again, this is live. This is somewhat rehearsed, but we're trying to put this together for you here.
Right. And then moving on to the male heavyweight pro raw division. Who do we have there, Josh?
All right, well, we got 3 guys that are on the roster. So this is one of those divisions that if you're a good deadlifter and you're 93 kilos or above, you may look at sending me an email and getting in this event. Right now we have Darren Rogers, Adam Plagans, and Donnie Owen. Those are the 3 lifters.
Okay.
I know Darren's pulled I want to say 628 at 264, and Adam's pulled 550 at 242. So between those 3 guys, I think it's anybody's game. So, you know, it'd be fun to add some people to the mix and see what we get.
Yeah, if you're watching out there, it seems like there could be some prize money on the line.
Yeah, that's right. So as it is right now, one of those 3 guys is walking home with $400.
Right.
So if you're interested, hit me up. There's the email, josh at USAPLGeorgia.com. Bench press and deadlift only invites. There's still room for you.
All right, so the equipped pro raw deadlift. So you said we're going to have that equipped division there. So
Right.
who do we have as far as that's concerned?
Well, you can see up here on the screen we got Cheryl Edelstein, Mike Hedleski, and Garrett Bailey. I highlight those guys because, well, for one, they're the only 3 signed up right now. But the reality is, all 3 of them are great pullers. So any one of them, you know, Cheryl's weighing what, 105-ish.
Okay.
And you got Big Mike Hedleski up around 260, 270, and then you got Garrett Bailey, you know, again at 207-ish. So
Right.
they all have huge deadlifts for their body weight, and we'll have to see how they stack up.
That's exactly it. It's going to be exciting, I can tell. All right.
All right, so we'll move into the female raw bench press now.
Okay, female raw.
If we bring up that graphic, if we could, the female raw bench press.
Oh, we got
we're
Garrett
gonna-
here.
Oh, we got Garrett? Garrett, can you hear us? Alright, we're having some technical difficulties here, Garrett. Can you hear us? Garrett, you can hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
So Garrett, you are entered in pretty much every division we have here. Tell us your thought process there. Can you hear us, Garrett? Alright, we're going to have to scrap Garrett.
Yeah.
He's having some internet issues in his end, I think. Alright, so we're moving on to the pro bench press. This is where some of the best bench pressers in the country are coming to play. So we look at the female side. You can see the roster right up here. A couple of the big names that stand out. We got Tammy Walker.
Right.
She's a big bencher. She's been on a couple bench press world teams, I guess national teams. Charlie Rubish, many of you may not know her. She's from Georgia, so that's how we know her.
Right.
But she is, benching, 140s, 150s, weighing 114. So that's going to be a
Okay.
pretty big wheel score. And there's somebody else on here that knows a little bit about bench press.
Just a little
Just
bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Jen Thompson is also on the roster to bench press.
Yeah, I mean,
I believe she benched 314 at 135ish.
right around there.
Something
yeah,
like that.
I think you're right. I think that's going to be a hard number to beat. I mean, she's even blowing a lot of male
I
weights.
can't. I'll be honest. I can't bench that right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not going to say what I weigh right now.
Oh,
But I believe we're going to actually have Jen joining us here. Jen, can you hear us?
all right, there she is.
I can hear you.
Awesome.
All right.
So tell me, you're coming back you're on the U.S. national team, correct? And you're competing next week, not next week, the week before the Summer Showdown, correct?
Yeah, it's like not quite 2 weeks.
It's what?
It's not quite 2 weeks.
Not quite 2 weeks.
Or-
Okay. So you're competing in a couple events here. You're doing the full power on Friday. You're doing the raw bench on Saturday, and then you're doing the equipped bench like 20 minutes later. And
Yeah, crazy, right?
crazy, but I mean, hey, if you can bench what you can bench, why not, right?
We're gonna give it a go. I'm excited to be Walker. Just picked second in the world, so this should be a good competition.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
yeah. I think it's going to be exciting. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to this event? I know you're not going to get very much training, if any, between the two meets. So is this just kind of coming in, see what you can do, or are you going to really, I guess, kind of target this meet specifically to try to do something big?
Well, I'm hoping I can just make next 2 weeks, and I'm playing around putting on the bench group for that bench meet. And I haven't had one on for several years. But really a great opportunity to try something crazy and just go for it.
That sounds good. We're excited to see what you can do. Appreciate you joining us here. And we're going to move on and get through the rest of our roster here.
All right.
And we'll see you soon, Jen. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jen.
Alright, bye, thanks for having me.
Alright, so we move on to the men's lightweight bench press. And there's a lot of names on here that I'm not real familiar with.
Okay.
But I saw some of the numbers they posted
Right.
in their application when they submitted for an invite. And this division is going to be completely up for grabs, Dave.
Okay.
I put two names on here just because I had to highlight somebody.
Right.
But we got Dedrick Henry and Terrence Smith. Both have lifted in Georgia. So I know what they're capable of. I've seen them in person.
Gotcha.
So I'd definitely be interested to see what they do and what they bring to the table when it's game day.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool having some of these divisions wide open like that, not really knowing what you're gonna see. So that'll be one to keep an eye on because if nobody really knows what's happening, then it'll be probably a nail biter.
Yeah, and that's always fun for when it comes down to that final lift and everybody's changing numbers and everything. It gets exciting at the end.
That is.
And a lot of times you don't see that as an audience. You don't see those changes behind the scenes. So that might be something to pay attention to. Watch that score table when those final benches are rolling around and you see a bunch of people scrambling around the table. They're all jockeying for position right there in the final lift.
Right, I know that's sometimes a big thing just for the coaches too. The lifters love the lifting, but at the same time the coaches also get pumped up about being able to help make those moves.
Yeah. All right, so we move into the men's heavyweight bench press. We got a pretty good roster here. Again, you look at that. We got 10 lifters signed up,
Right.
and we're capping that, I believe, at 18. So we do have 8 spots left for some
Okay.
bench-only guys if they want to throw their hat in the ring and see what they can do. We definitely welcome you.
Yeah.
Then moving on to the equipped bench. This is the one that's going to be interesting.
Right.
We have a lot of big-name lifters on this list. Somebody that you may not be real range 700 bencher, I believe.
Okay. Oh, wow, that'll be awesome to see.
Yeah, and we got Mark Freeman, we got Matt Christie.
Matt Christie, I've seen him lift plenty of times. I know he's got a huge bench.
Both of those guys are in the 5s.
Right.
And then there's that name again, that Jen Thompson's standing out. I mean, she's the only female signed up in the equipped bench right now, but is she the favorite?
I would think so in all honesty, and the only reason is because I remember at Bench Press Nationals, I think it was last year, or maybe the year before, when it was actually in Atlanta.
Yeah.
She was both in the equipped and the raw division and won overall, even versus the equipped women.
Right, and she wasn't wearing a bench press shirt.
Right. So
Yeah.
she did bench raw and didn't wear shirts. So when you do that,
We're gonna circle that name right there.
right, just give that a circle down. Yeah, I would say that. But then again, you never know what's going to happen.
Right,
so.
you never know. So, all right, so we move on to the full power division. All right, I guess we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with the full power division. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Where's the competition? Bring on the competition. We need some competition. Y'all ain't no competition. Yo, where's the competition? Bring on the competition. We need some competition. Y'all ain't no competition. It's time to ball. Yeah, y'all, it's time to brawl. Cause see, we about to stomp y'all from the jump.
All right, we're back to the USAPL Summer Showdown held at the World Fitness Expo. Here we are. This is the roster reveal. So if you're just joining us, we've just gone through some of the early divisions, the Pro Raw Deadlift, the Pro Raw Bench, and the Equipped Pro Raw Bench as well. And now we are heading into the Full Power. And our other host here, of course, as you know, is Josh Rohr, Meet Director Extraordinaire. And what do we have going on in Full Power here, Josh?
Well, first of all, if you're standing up, this is probably where you want to sit down because some of the names on this list are going to knock you off your feet here. So we got one hell of a lineup. So we start off in the female division. I'm just going to highlight now. There are some interesting battles we actually have here. There are 5 lifters that I have on my list here, all competing in around that 138 range that are going head to head. So everybody's competing by Wilks formula, but there's always those bragging rights straight up by a weight class that are going to be going on.
Right,
so we got Jen Thompson, Dicey Saylor, Leanna Carr, Stacy Burr, and Natalie Tarana that are all very, very good lifters. All in that same weight class area.
Right,
So-
that's a cool aspect to throw in as well, is the fact that it's not just the Wilks, it's also there will be those inter weight class battles as well
Right.
going on. So
Alright, and so we will move into the lightweight full power. You see it up on the screen here. We have so these full power divisions, they filled up pretty quick. So
Right.
they've been Conyers.
right,
He is a living legend right there.
exactly.
You can never count that guy out.
That's the truth.
Vashawn Perriman, I've heard he pulled 7 something
Right.
at 165 raw. that's pretty freaky. You gotta figure that he's gonna be in a way in the driver's seat at the end of the meet, because with that big deadlift, you kind of have one of the last says
That's
of
exactly
what you attempt. Another interesting thing here, if we look at this roster, we got Keith McConey
right.
and we got Demario Holloway on there.
I see Demario, yeah.
Now, I was just thinking about this earlier. Keith McConey is the reigning 145 national champion in the Raw division.
Okay.
And Demario Holloway just competed, I believe, last weekend at the Equipped Nationals
Right.
and won the 145 division. So we have a showdown here of the 145s, the current reigning national champions in both the Raw and the Equipped division, competing in the Raw at this event. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting.
That'll be fun to watch. There's no doubt about it.
So I think out there in internet land, everybody already just picked their side.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And we're gonna see what happens. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And then like you mentioned earlier, we got Camden Clayton.
Yeah, Camden Clayton, right.
And then Botsy Bailey is in there as well.
That's-
He's competed at the international level. Matt Coe, Tony Walton, who's a multi-time national champion,
Okay.
is also lifting.
Gotcha.
So
right.
it's just it is a stacked roster, and that's going to be a fun one to watch.
It will be. There's no doubt about it. Everyone
Yeah.
coming from all different.
Okay. So I believe we're going to try to bring
Yeah.
Botsy back in. Botsy, you with us now? Botsy.
Yes, I mean,
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
all right.
So we tried to ask you a question earlier. You're lifting in all 5 events or 4?
I think I have full power. I have the raw, the equip deadlift,
Right. Yep.
and I
So,
think that's base for raw bench. If there's
Okay. Hey, Botsy, where are you at right now?
I'm actually in the gym.
Are you in the middle of a training
That's
session?
the internet's.
You're in the middle of
I finished my training early in the morning.
Okay. So we're getting a little internet issues there, so we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Yeah, the connections and
but
stuff.
if you can hear us, thank you, Botsy, for
we appreciate you.
coming on. We appreciate it. And keep training hard, man. We'll see you soon.
It's tough there.
Yeah.
All right.
So technology, sometimes it works, sometimes it
Right.
doesn't.
So I guess we're moving on to the. Are we in the lightweight?
Yeah, we're still in the lightweight, so we're finishing up there. So now we move into the heavyweights. Now you see this
Gotcha.
roster again. There's some names that immediately stand out at you.
Right.
But particularly, if you guys, we got Ray Williams is lifting. He squatted recently, I believe 919 or something like
Right.
that. I don't know the exact number, but something pretty big,
Yeah.
raw, which is. World record total not too long ago,
Okay.
and was darn close.
Right. All right.
Which I hate to say this, I'm kind of glad he didn't do it, because I think he's going to do it at this meet, and it'll be
That'll be
awesome to say, hey, he did it at the Showdown.
Right. That'll be huge.
So-
And you say again, I know he's kind of new on the scene as well. You know, it's
Yeah.
like kind of digging these guys out, which is awesome because I mean it just builds that competition.
Right.
It really makes it more intense, and that's what we're trying to see. It's really a great way to build the sport.
And then we got Doug Currents on there. He's a former world champion in the Masters division.
Okay, there you go.
And then also we got Mike Kudleski. He's also lifting, which he's doing the deadlift as well.
Right. Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see what he puts up and brings to the table.
Oh, right.
All right, I believe we're going to be joined by the man Ray Williams.
There he is. Hey, Ray.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty-
Doing well.
Good,
All right.
good. Hey, so you're also, we were talking to Jen Thompson earlier, so you're also competing at the Raw World Championships shortly before you compete at the Summer Showdown, correct?
Yes, sir. That would be correct.
Are you doing anything specific to train for both those meets, or how do you work that timing? Is it just kind of, excuse me, is it just kind of, you're focusing on the Worlds and then you're just going to see what you have, or you got a plan in place, or tell us a little bit.
Actually, my plan is I'm not going to change much up. When I come back from Worlds, I'm going to focus. I'm going to keep it heavy, though. That was, you know, once some food come over to the summer, sometimes I'm still progressing, you know, I'm not, I'm progressing, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess you know a little something about keeping it heavy.
Right.
What was your biggest squat that you've done recently? Because I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I figured we'll let you speak for yourself on that one.
Right.
In BT, I did not.
Say that one more time. It kind of broke up on us.
In DC, I did not.
Okay.
924, I believe, is what he said there. 924, and that's
931.
931.4. 931.4. That's not
Okay. All right.
That is a huge squat raw. That's a huge squat.
I mean, yeah, it's just
I
giant.
mean, that's a huge total.
Right. There's no doubt about that.
That's awesome. Are you looking to exceed those numbers at the Showdown or at the Raw Worlds?
I want to see what my health is, but I always want to hit them.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. And I think, looking at this roster, I mean, I don't know if you've been following along as we announced it, but we got a lot of big name lifters coming in as well. We got Dennis Cornelius, Perry Ellis, Mike Hedleski. Are you familiar with any of those guys? And I guess where do you think, what do you think of that?
I'm familiar with most of those guys.
Okay. Yeah, we're losing a little. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was asking, was I breaking up real?
Yeah, about every second or third word you start kind of fading out. So we're getting bits and pieces and we're doing the best we can, but we're getting most of what you're saying. So.
But,
All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and move on. Ray, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we wish you the best of luck at the Worlds and also at the Summer Showdown coming up. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So that pretty much that is our roster reveal, Dave Bell.
Okay, I think we've got quite a competition on our hands here, and anybody who's going to be in the area, or if you've already, I'm sure there's plenty of people coming from around the country that are going to see this, and it's not something to miss. I'm assuming it's going to be live streamed as well.
We're working on that. We're working it out with the venue. We're going to try to do that, but we don't want to promise anything yet until we know for sure.
I understand that. So
a few things real quick. We do want to thank our sponsors, Team Rohr, obviously,
of course.
Quest Athletics, Spinto Fitness, Beast Apparel, Bigger Than Gods Apparel, and also Titan Support Systems. And real quick, I do want to throw a couple happy birthdays out there. Today, we have two competitors on the roster. Today is their birthday.
All right. Okay.
So
well,
Brandon Maddox is competing in the lightweight bench only. He turns 23 today. And then Keith K-Mac McConey, who we mentioned and talked about a little bit.
Right.
He's turning the big 3-0 today. So
all right.
happy birthday to both of those guys, and we're excited to see you compete.
Yeah, and so thanks for joining us here, and I hope it got you guys excited to see what's going to happen here at the Summer Showdown.
Absolutely. Can't wait. We'll see you guys in Atlanta.
All right.